Time for Countdown's number 2 story, tonight's worst persons in the world. The bronze to writers Jill Zuckman and John McCormick of the Chicago Tribune, mysteriously giving into that newest phenomenon of the press, letting one side trash the other anonymously. About McCain's houses disaster, they write, quote, a senior McCain advisor said the attack provides license to raise more questions about Obama and his relationships with Reverend Jeremiah Wright Jr., Rezko, and William Ayers. He spoke on condition that he not be identified in order to discuss strategy. Firstly, to the anonymous source, man up if you're not ashamed of yourself or your candidate or your strategy. Secondly, to the reporters, this is from the Chicago Tribune's policy manual, its style book. Quote, the Tribune will not print anonymously sourced materials that adds only supplemental or trivial material to stories, such as a zippy but unattributed quote that might enliven a prosaic narrative, but that also might lead the reader to wonder about the validity of the material. Of course, if the Tribune is stupid enough to remove its deputy managing editor, Jim Warren, it's going to see a lot of its own in-house rules ignored, to say nothing of seeing the newspaper ignored. The silver to Jeff Michael Deck and Benjamin Douglas Herson, two self-proclaimed 28-year-old grammar vigilantes, and you'd never guess it by looking at them. They belong to an organization called TEAL, Typo Eradication Advancement League. In March at the Desert View Watchtower at the Grand Canyon, the two encountered a sign hand-painted 60 years ago by artist Mary Coulter. Spying what they decided was a misplaced apostrophe and a bad comma, the two used whiteout and a permanent marker to correct the artwork. The boys have now been placed on probation, ordered to pay $3,000 worth of repairs, and banned from all national parks for a year. Our sources say the judge was also going to order them to get a life, but apparently it's too late for that. But our winner, Sean Hannity, who in between lunatic and probably legally actionable claims that Barack Obama wants to chase down and kill any infants who might survive a botched abortion, he jumped the professional shark both in terms of journalism and Americanism. You know, he said about Jerome Corsi on his radio comedy show, they're saying, oh, he's a fringe bigot. Okay, but we just went through a whole list of examples where Barack Obama, I don't think ought to be hurling around words like bigot, given the things that he said himself. Hannity then played a clip from one of Obama's audio books in which Obama is heard saying, white folks' greed runs a world in need. Hannity then piously added, yeah, or the typical white person, talking about his own grandmother who raised him. First, the clip of Obama was him reading part of a Jeremiah Wright sermon, not his own words, a vital distinction Hannity himself had noted on the air in March. Second, Sean, don't defend Jerome Corsi. He not only wrote that book about Obama, but he also wrote this year that John McCain's personal fortune is linked to the mob and his presidential campaign is linked to Al-Qaeda. Third, Sean, now that you have crossed the line into full-blooded, fire-breathing, stop the black guy at all costs racism, go the whole distance. Get a hood and wear it on your show. Sean Hannity, today's worst person in the world.